Hello everyone, my name is Olivia and welcome to day one of the Reading Rush. If you do not know what the Reading Rush is, it is a time where everyone tries to read as much as possible and we all post about it on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, and it's a really fun time, and usually it happens during the summer, but because we are all mostly at home, Ariel and Raylene decided to host one during this time. So for the next 4 days, I am going to be reading as much as possible, and they even created a cute little stay-at-home reading rush tag that I do want to answer before I get into the actual reading, because in the morning and in the afternoon I didn't really do anything, but now I'm here, now I'm ready to read. So let's do the stay-at-home reading tag that they created for the reading rush because I think the questions are all really cute and I wanted to answer them here. So the first question is, how is your reading going while staying at home? It's pretty steady with what I've been reading throughout this year. I've been reading a smaller number of books this year because I really want to take my time with reading and I don't want to rush and care about the numbers as much. So it is still pretty steady. I feel like I am much more distracted by my phone and my family members at home because we are all stuck at home, but I would say that my reading has been pretty steady. But I do wish that I would check my phone less often because ever since I've been stuck at home, I've just been checking my phone non-stop and I could be more productive and not check my phone. The next question is, where are you reading at home? I always read in my living room or in my front porch, which you will probably see in these reading vlogs. I never really read in my room because I don't really hang out in my room. I don't know, I just don't really enjoy hanging out in my room. I would much rather hang out in my front porch or in my living room, and that is where I usually read the most. The next question is, what is the best book that you've read during isolation? And I do have to say it's my gigantic reread of the Infernal Devices trilogy. I wanted to reread that before I got to Chain of Gold and it was so phenomenal. I have terrible book memory, so I don't remember any of the books I read, so reading that trilogy felt like I was reading it for the first time in my life. I was so emotional, I was surprised, it was such a fun time, and I really enjoy the fact that I have bad book memory because I could read some of my favorite books and still be surprised by it. So there are some pros and cons to having bad book memory. The next question is, what is your favorite feel-good book? I do have to say it's probably Maureen Gu's YA contemporaries. I really enjoy her books. They always leave a little like fuzzy feeling in my heart, and her books are just like a really big source of comfort for me, and I just adore every single story that she's released and I cannot wait to read more from her. And another favorite feel-good book is actually on my Reading Rush TBR, so I will tell you about that in a few moments. The next question is, what is a book you wish you could buy or borrow from the library? And I don't think I have any because I'm focusing on my TBR currently, but I do have to say I just miss wandering my library. I miss looking at the new releases shelves. I miss looking at the YA shelves. I miss looking through the stacks of books for a specific book that I want to take out because I don't want to ask the librarians for help because I like searching for books by myself. I just really miss going to the library. I don't have anything that I specifically want to take out, but I just miss going to my library because that is such a big comfort place to me, and I've like reignited my love for the library in these recent years, so I just miss going to it. I miss the comfort of going to the library. The next question is, what is an author you want to shout out during this time? And I just want to shout out all the debut authors who have had books coming out during this time, who have to kind of make it work and really market their books by themselves because they don't have people going to bookstores finding their books in the new release tables. They are releasing their books, their pride and joy, during a very difficult time where a lot of people aren't really buying books and it's really difficult. So one author that I do really want to shout out is Claribel Ortega. Her recent middle grade book, Ghost Squad, just recently came out and she's been doing so much to market it and share it with others, and she's so clever and funny, and if you don't follow her on Twitter, I'll be sure to link both her book and her Twitter down below because she has been doing the most and making the most of this current situation, so she deserves all the praise and all the recognition for all that she's doing, along with all other debut authors. And the last question is, what is your Reading Rush TBR? So I have 2 digital books that I am currently reading that I do want to finish during the Reading Rush, but then I have 3 books that I want to read physically. During my first Reading Rush last year, I only read I think like 3 books within 7 days, so I don't think I'm going to be able to read 5 books in 4 days, but who knows? Who knows? So let's start with the books that I'm currently reading digitally. So a book that I'm listening to on audiobook on Libby, which is a wonderful library database for libraries that I just like adore so much and I've spoken about many times, is The Winter of the Witch by Catherine Arden. This is the third book in the Bear and the Nightingale trilogy, and it is such a wonderful Russian-inspired folklore fantasy book. There's a lot of political intrigue, and the main character somewhat falls in love with Morosko, which is like the Russian version of Jack Frost. It's such a wonderful, vivid, atmospheric fantasy series that I have been hooked on, which is very surprising for me because I don't really enjoy fantasy, but I've been loving the books on audiobook. I've listened to every single one on audiobook. So I'm listening to the third one currently. I am 23% through. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this during the reading rush, but I am going to be listening to it during the reading rush because I listen to it when I clean my room, when I make breakfast, when I do my hair. So I may not completely finish it during the reading rush, but I am still going to read it. The other book that I am reading on Libby as well is The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde. This is my April play for my hashtag Let's Read Plays over on Instagram. I asked people for a lot of play recommendations on Instagram, and it turned into like a whole thing where I got so many different recommendations, so I made it a mission to read at least one play a month. So I've been very steadily doing that. So my April play that I'm reading is The Importance of Being Earnest. I am 35% through, and that is the book that I want to finish today on Thursday, on the first day of the reading rush. The Importance of Being Earnest is actually not that long of a play. I think it said it was only like 54 pages on Goodreads, but I've been reading it digitally, so pages don't matter to me. But it is such a wonderfully witty and funny play by Oscar Wilde. I just love the humor and the banter in it, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's really weird to describe. It's about like two men who are like actively lying about their lives. One pretends that he has a brother who gets into a bunch of mischief, but that's actually just like his alter ego, Ernest. And the other one pretends that he has a friend named Bunbury who is always sick, and whenever he doesn't want to go to dinners or agree to people's plans, he's like, oh, I have to go visit my friend Bunbury. He's just like really sick. So it's about these two men getting into mischief. It's a play that nearly everyone has recommended to me when I ask for play recommendations, and this was the most popular recommendation that I've gotten from everyone on Instagram. So this is the one that I'm planning to finish today because it is a pretty short play and I'm having so much fun with it. And the three books that I want to read physically are all the same color, and it pleases me so much. And it is Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi, and this is a book that I've spoken about a lot in different videos. It is about a cafe where people order coffee and they are allowed to time travel to I think any single time that they please, but the thing is they have to come back to the cafe, back to present time before their coffee gets cold. And I've heard a lot of good things about it. The premise just seems right up my alley. Hello, coffee, stories for coffee, before the coffee gets cold. It's so on brand for me to read this. It's only 212 pages, so I think I could finish this in one sitting, maybe, perhaps? I don't know. I don't really follow the challenges for the reading rush because I'm a Taurus rising and I hate when people tell me what to do, and I'm a very big mood reader. So like setting this TBR is like a stretch for me. So this is a book that I want to read for no particular reason at all. It doesn't follow any of like the challenges. I guess it could be like a place that I want to be. I think that's one of the challenges. I would love to visit Japan, but I would also love to just be in a cafe surrounded by people if I could, but I can't. But I miss cafes so much and I wish I was in one currently. And the next book that I want to read is actually a reread. It is one of my favorite feel-good books that I recently mentioned, and it is Sheets by Brenna Thummler. I had so much fun reading Sheets when I got it at Book Expo a couple of years ago. It is a wonderful graphic novel about a ghost who haunts a laundromat, and he's like a traditional ghost, like a ghost with a sheet over him. And I thought, why not reread this, because it brought me so much joy, and I can use all the joy that I can get currently during these weird times. So this is something that I want to reread. This is also something that I know I can finish quickly. I'm trying to pick short books off of my TBR that I know I can finish, because picking a book over like 200 pages is not something that I can finish during the reading rush. I just know how I read. I don't read that quickly, so I need short books that I can read maybe in one sitting, because if it's less than 200 pages, I think I could finish it in one sitting. If it's like 300 pages, no dice. And the last book is a book that is just like on the TBR for fun, and like it would be cool if I can read it, but do we think that I can actually finish it within the 4 days of the reading rush? Who knows? And it is For Small Creatures Such as We by Sasha Sagan. This is a nonfiction that says it is rituals for finding meaning in your unlikely world. I'm just going to read you a little blurb by Bill Nye, the science guy. I did not realize that he blurbed this. And he says, "What is the meaning of life? Sagan finds its meaning everywhere, with her family, around the world, and especially among the stars of the cosmos. Read her work. You'll have a deeper appreciation for your every step, every bite, every breath." And I feel like that's something I've been really thinking about lately. Like in this weird time where we're not allowed to go outside, where we have to really limit our contact with people, it's that time where you appreciate things the most, like trips to Target, going to Starbucks to get a Frappuccino, seeing your best friend at their house, going to the beach randomly, or just like going to your local library. Those are like the little things in life that I really took for granted, and now that I'm not able to do those certain activities, I miss them so much and I appreciate them so much. So I'm glad I picked this up because it was really calling to me. So that's why I wanted to add it to my TBR. After filming that tag and that intro to this reading vlog, my voice hurts so much because I literally have not spoken that much in a month. I speak to my parents and my family at my house, but like I don't speak for that long of a time at home. I'm mostly silent. My voice hurts. I'm not used to this. Oh my god. I am having so much fun with The Importance of Being Earnest. It feels like Will Herondale and Jem Carstairs just like bantering back and forth with each other, and it's just so funny. I'm just really enjoying it. I'm about almost halfway through with it. It ended so early. All that's left is, what's it called? Like copyright info. I finished it. I finished my first read of the reading rush. It was a play, so it's not a book, but I mean, I finished it. There we go. So I just finished my first read in the reading rush. I finished The Importance of Being Earnest, and it was such a treat. It was so witty and sassy, and the banter and just like the dialogue was just so clever, and I really enjoy Oscar Wilde's writing, so I knew I would have fun with this, and I'm just so glad that I read it, and so many people recommended it to me, and I'm glad that I finished my first read in the reading rush. So I do plan on starting before the coffee gets cold tonight at some point, but I do want to take a quick break from reading because I don't want to read all day despite what the whole readathon is for. So I think I'm going to watch a movie, and I'm not sure which movie I'm going to watch. Probably something on Netflix or Amazon Prime that has been on my list for a while, but I just want to take a break before my class starts online, because we're all taking online classes. Ooh, it starts at 6:30 and it's 4 p.m. now. I'll probably start a quick movie to see if I could finish that before class starts. So I just finished Cold War, and it was absolutely stunning. It really took me by surprise. It was a movie set during the Cold War, obviously, about these two people who are star-crossed and they can never seem to get together, and it follows them through multiple years in their lives, and it's just such a sad but beautiful movie in terms of like the composition and the editing and the way that it's shot. It's just like gorgeous. It's shot in black and white. It always had some like tight shots of the main characters that were beautiful, and it just made you feel like so much closer to the characters. And it was just like something I've never seen before. Like it was just something like all on its own, very unique and just stunning, and it gave me a lot of French New Wave vibes. In terms of the way that the story was composed and in terms of the editing style that was used, it was just a beautiful, stunning movie that I'm glad I just like started watching, because I saw a couple of shots of it on One Perfect Shot on Twitter, which is a film Twitter, and it was just such a beautiful movie. I'm really glad that I picked it up randomly. It's a Polish movie, so if you're looking for a foreign movie to watch, I would highly recommend that one. Welcome to day 2 of the reading rush. This is not a usual look for me, but I created a challenge over on my Instagram where I wanted to wear every single t-shirt in my closet for all of April. So I'm starting to run out of ideas of how to style a t-shirt. So I went with E-Girl, Hadestown Loving Girl for today's look. So this isn't usually my style, but I'm just rolling with it because I'm not seeing anyone anyway, so nobody can judge me. Except all of you watching this video. So currently it is almost 2 p.m. and I haven't really read anything. I've been reading The Winter of the Witch by Catherine Arden on audiobook. I am 4.5 hours through that audiobook and I have 9.5 hours left. So I don't know if I'm going to finish it by Sunday, but hopefully I can almost finish it by Sunday because that would be enough for me. And now I'm going to go downstairs and read before the coffee gets cold. I am only 15 pages in. I read a little bit before I went to shower and put on makeup and put on this whole look. And it's pretty good so far. I did want to mention a couple of aspects of the book that I didn't mention because I didn't really know much about the book before picking it up. But there are 2 rules in this time traveling cafe. One is that the only people you can meet while in the past are those who have visited the cafe. So you can't visit like Abraham Lincoln by time traveling through this cafe. You can only meet people who have been physically in this cafe previously. And another thing about this time traveling cafe that uses coffee to time travel is that there is nothing you can do while in the past that will change the present. So the main character wants to go to the past to kind of reconcile an issue that she had with her longtime boyfriend, and she's hoping that time traveling to the past will help her fix that, but the people who work at the cafe have told her like, you can go to the past and you can reconcile all you want, but it's not going to change the present and your current situation. So I thought that was really cool because usually whenever you time travel, any decision that you make will greatly affect the present and can change your life completely. So I'm interested to see what the main character is going to do now that she knows those 2 specific rules. And I also want to mention that this book is split into 4 parts. So each part follows a different group of people. So the first one is the lovers, the second one is husband and wife, the third part is the sisters, and the fourth part is mother and child. So right now I am on the lovers part. And it's really interesting so far. I wanted to delve into more Japanese fiction anyway this year, so this has been greatly on my radar, so I'm very excited to get to it, and hopefully I can finish it today. I also forgot to mention that I'm hosting a live reading sprint today on the second day of the reading rush over on Twitter. So at 8 p.m. I'm going to have to stop reading for an hour to host that. And I'm so excited because it's such a large community over on the Reading Rush's Twitter. So hosting those sprints, asking people questions, seeing all their different answers and their excitement for it is going to be really fun. So I'm probably going to do that while I FaceTime my friend Jessica, and then hopefully after that I can read some more of Before the Coffee Gets Cold. So I just finished part 1 of Before the Coffee Gets Cold, and again, there are 4 parts, and it is so good and like heartwarming and like low stakes, because usually with time traveling there's really high stakes. A lot can happen, a lot can change by changing one moment in the past, but this is mostly just like, the first part at least, mostly about like reconciliation and just like fixing little things in order to give you comfort for the future. And it's really cute, and I made coffee because I'm reading about coffee, so I wanted to drink another cup. And I cannot wait to get to part 2, so I'm going to watch a YouTube video to take my mind off of this for a while, just to give myself a little bit of a break because I can't read straight in a row. And then once I watch a YouTube video, I'll probably get back into this so I could read some more of part 2, which is, what is part 2 about? Husband and Wife, that's what it's called. It's so cute, I really am enjoying it. Hello, I am in my room and it is about 15 minutes before my Twitter live reading sprint over on the Reading Rush, so I have gotten all comfy. I've put on a heater, did I turn on the candle? Have not turned on the candle. And now I'm just going to get ready and read while I also tweet out some fun things over on the Reading Rush's Twitter. It's always a fun time. The hour always goes by so quickly. And in case you're wondering, I am about 50-ish% through Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I don't know if I'm going to finish it today, but I most definitely will finish it tomorrow. So I did no reading during that Twitter sprint, because when you host that, the time goes by so quickly. So an hour flew by. It felt like literally 10 minutes, and it was so fun, and it just reminded me of like BookCon, which we can't go to this year, but it just like made me feel like the book community is still like knitted together no matter what. So I think I'm gonna end the vlog off here, and then we'll do day 3 and 4 in the next vlog. I did not finish Before the Coffee Gets Cold because I was not able to read at all during those sprints, but I will finish it definitely tomorrow. So far all I've read is The Importance of Being Earnest and then half of Before the Coffee Gets Cold. And I hope you enjoyed these reading vlogs. Let me know what you've been reading during the reading rush, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next vlog. Bye!